students. Students, what do you see on your screen? If I zoom it, you can see our national flag. A flag floating high up in the sky. Can you see the soldiers holding them? Yes, they are our soldiers of India. The defense who are standing at the border to always take care of us. Our soldiers who are always ready, waiting day and night at the borders. Sometimes at the LOC, sometimes in Rajasthan, at Punjab, every nook and corner they are there taking care of us. Because of them, we are at peace in our country. But do you know that we who made this army? Who who had an idea to start an Indian army? First, we did not have an Indian army. We were working as, you can see, we were as soldiers, but then we were working for Britishers. Somebody who came from outside, who had already formed, and we were working for them. We used to use the card, you can say, used to use the gun. You should take the rifle to kill the enemy, but then we were not we were not serving as India. We were serving for somebody else's team. You know the one person who brought life to this team? I would like to introduce you to that person. It's none other than Subhash Chandra Bose, our Netaji. This is he. You can see him. This picture of his Subhash Chandra Bose. He was the one who started the Indian National Army, who gave the call for freedom to say, "Give me blood and I will give you freedom." Children, in the late 30s, if you see, and early 40s of the last century, we fought for our freedom struggle. In 1947, we got our independence. And independence war was not fought all by alone. You can see Netaji's photo. Even he is called as Netaji. Usually we call Netaji who are in politics. Leaders are called as Netaji. Political leaders are called Netaji. An army person is never called. He is called a soldier. Jawan, officer. We give it their different names. But then why Subhash Chandra Bose was called as Netaji? During this time, we had even Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, that is Mahatma Gandhi ji, who was also striving to give us freedom. He really worked hard to give freedom to our Indian country. And in that, Subhash Chandra Bose, he also came front. Subhash Chandra Bose is a Bengali. He is coming from a well-renowned family. He is very educated person, coming from very rich family. He belonged to a very prosperous family, and he studied in England. You can see his photo here. He studied in England, that was in Cambridge, and travelled all the places. And he looked at India from a different perspective, like from an international perspective. He looked. He felt this is my India and I have to get it back. We cannot be somebody's slave. So he wanted to fight for the freedom struggle. His quest for truth and the right Guru had taken him to each and every corner of the country. At last, he made up his mind to follow teachings of Swami Vivekananda. And here, like Swami Vivekananda is really like, was a person very bold, very straightforward. You can say he was fearless, not scared of anybody. And Deshbandhu Chitrangan Das in politics helped him to get into politics. First, Netaji got in the freedom struggle as a politician. Then, he had a special regard for Muslim countrymen. It is each one's like how they look at each other, and he joined as a politician, and he found that many things were not working exactly how he could do it. And then he met commanders under the Muslim rulers of Bengal and the quarters where he lived. He says in his autobiography, one and our neighbor were mostly Muslims, and he says he cannot remember even to have looked upon Muslims as a different from us himself in a way, except that they go to pray in a mosque. We think like no, it was for him that like they had to go in a mosque. That's all. Otherwise, he was finding himself very much like them only. He was born in Odisha in Cuttack on Jan 23 in 1897, and his father Jankinath Bose is a very famous lawyer. As I told you, he's coming from a very educated and a very rich family, and he himself is also a very brilliant student. He was very broad-minded. He did not, as you can see, he did not have religion on his mind. He did not have caste, rich, poor, color, nothing. He just wanted to know people, know his freedom. And he had issues like freedom means social issues and his hungry soul. He had lot of issues with the casteism, and he did not like anybody ruling his brothers and sisters. And like the English people, like how they should do, like because only they are fair color, or because they are coming from another country, coming, and you can say is like they were dominating over India. So he just wanted that culture to go back. He was Bose had quite a rebellious and independent spirit that was apparent from his earlier days. You can say is he allowed people to come here, and he did his first class in BA examination. He did his first class in BA examination. Then he left for England on 15th September 1919. He had to study there and appear for Indian civil services. So what he did was he left politics. He went to England to study for higher studies, and then he did his ICS to study for Indian civil services, where he can become an IPS officer or something like at a higher post he can be. After a year, he came out successfully and stood forth in order of merit. He came with like more power now. And now what happened is he wanted to fight again for the country. He went and met Mahatma Gandhi ji and C.R. Das, and then both they were sitting and they're talking. They used to have lot of discussions, but then he not like that non-cooperation movement. He was arrested by British for joining the movement. After then his release, the Bose formed Swaraj Party. And then the Swaraj Party, he was appointed as an editor, and for then he became, but in some way he always felt that we have to do something more to this place. So what did he do? He started the Indian National Army, and he first call he gave was for come or everybody come, let's fight the fight. And he was 48 years, very brilliant student, and he had attended the highest position, ICS officer. But then he preferred a life to he wanted to do something. He did not want that nice life like only to sit in the palace, eat, live. No, he came out of it. He stayed in jungles. He stayed here only to create the Indian army. And he called everybody. He trained people. He did not even leave. He said women and girls also come out, keeping Rani Lakshmi Bai as their role model. He said, if she can fight for the Indian nation, why can't all the mothers and sisters fight? He encouraged our women empowerment also. And it is, children, he has been a proud independent spirit mocked, and he was really very brilliant, and he had a very good position as well. He was a doer as well and a thinker and a fighter who never submitted to defeat. In life, he was a natural leader of men who inspired immense devotion and loyalty. He became a legend. People refuse to believe that Netaji is dead. Perhaps they are right, for martyrs never die. Netaji died at the age of 48 in a plane crash. He was flying, and then there was a plane, and there was a lot of burns, but then his body was never found. People find it very, they say, still Netaji exists. Yes, martyrs like him, because whenever we look at our soldiers, we always remember Netaji. Whenever it is not only Independence or Republic Day, every day when we see the Indian Army, we remember it is Netaji who formed it, who brought pride to our country. It is Netaji who gave the pride today, and we live also happily and peacefully. It's because of Subhash Chandra Bose ji. I still like to recall his slogan. He very proudly and bravely he got up and he said, "Give me blood, I will give you freedom." This slogan gives a different strength when we feel we are okay, like we have been this what they say, when we feel that we have been taken by the ruled by somebody else, we should say stand for our own identity, and what Subhash Chandra Bose ji did and Netaji did. This is a small tribute to our Netaji. Children, I hope you like the lesson. Uh, this is the lesson all about Sri Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, a tribute to him and what he was and what he did. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. If you have any doubts or queries, feel free to call back. Thank you and have a good day.